Naughty Dog has made a lot of games that fueled my childhood experiences and love for video games, but there was a time where I fell out of favor with their games. I've played a bunch of the Uncharted games already, including Uncharted 1, 2, and Golden Abyss. Yes, I know that last one is made by Sony Bend, but after 3 similar experiences in a row, jumping into Uncharted 3 was not a good idea, and I stopped halfway. Then, I got excited for the release of The Last of Us back when it was released on the PS3, and it just didn't click. So by the time everyone was getting hyped for the release of Uncharted 4, back in 2016, I was the odd man out, feeling kind of jaded with the games that Naughty Dog was making. But come 2021, the opportunity presented itself with the PlayStation Plus collection, and I played through Uncharted 4 for the first time. And I realized what a fool I have been. This game easily cemented itself as my favorite in the series, even more than Uncharted 2. I love the Pirates theme and the story woven in with these infamous historical figures. I also found the trophy run to be one of the best in recent memories thanks to a bunch of clever niceties added in by the devs. And even though I don't like the multiplayer mode all that much, I still think Uncharted 4 is a must play and a must plat. So enough spinning the yarn with you landlubbers, it's time to get your sea legs so we can plunder the pieces of 8 and get the one last time Platinum Trophy. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. Before we jump in, remember that this is one of those games that we are completing for the PlayStation Plus Collection Challenge, where we are completing all 20 games and collecting all 22 Platinums in that collection. We already have 4 games locked and loaded in the barrel, and guides are available in the playlist provided in the description below. As well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more trophy guide videos like this one. You may just find your next Platinum Trophy. Uncharted 4 has all the things that could make for an incredibly difficult Platinum run. It's got a maddeningly difficult mode to beat, a speedrun trophy where you have to beat a pretty fast time, an accuracy trophy where you have to be very careful with your shots, and a bunch of online trophies. Yet, with this entry in the Uncharted series, the Platinum has been made fun. I'm going to make a bold statement and say that Uncharted 4 is one of the most accessible and streamlined Platinum Trophy runs I have ever played, thanks to a bunch of options and extras that were added into the experience. Naughty Dog took the feedback of their other games and added a bunch of niceties like chapter select, encounter select, cheats that don't disable trophies, and other stuff we have taken for granted over the years. The bare minimum plays you will have to do is 2 playthroughs, but I recommend doing it in 3 playthroughs, and I'll explain why as we go. But essentially, you will need to beat the game on its hardest difficulty, crushing, obtaining all of the game's collectibles, beat the speed run with a high enough accuracy, obtain all the milestone and area specific trophies, and then hop into the online mode to collect the last 5 trophies. It's a lot to do for sure, but I'm going to give you all the tips and resources to do it. More helpful guides will be in the description below. Also, for people in the know, I won't be covering the physical version 1.0 glitch in this video. Yeah, sorry, we're going to do this legit. You can find it in the trophy guide I'm leaving below. I totally understand if you have the opportunity and want to go down that route. Let's start by talking about the 5 difficulty trophies that lead up to the grand trophy, Uncharted Crushing. As with every Uncharted game, you will have to clear a run of the story on Crushing, and while normally the mode has to be unlocked, you can actually pick it up from the start in this game. It appears grayed out in the menu, but you can actually select it no problem. Jumping into it right away will allow you to beat the Platinum in 2 playthroughs. However, I really don't recommend it, and instead, you should beat the game in 3 playthroughs for a few reasons. One is that Crushing is, well, crushing. There's a reason it's one of our rankings here on the Platinum Hunters difficulty scale. If you have played any of the previous games, you know exactly how difficult and frustrating that can be. This game is your chance to get a jump on crushing, and it ties into our second reason you should play an extra playthrough. Beating the game once will unlock the extras menu, where there are a whole bunch of helpful assists to make the crushing playthrough way less annoying. This includes access to any weapon in the game, infinite ammo, slow motion, and time slow while you're aiming. So equip the Barak pistol with infinite ammo and time slow, and essentially you will shred most enemies in one hit. This makes all the combat encounters much easier. Crushing is effectively tamed with these niceties, and for once, you might have fun playing on crushing difficulty. On your first play or crushing mode run, if you didn't heed my warning, you're going to have to worry about all of the game's many collectibles. Uncharted 4 has a crap ton of collectibles to find, to the point of exhaustion. The treasures are the main ones to collect, and nabbing your first treasure gets you the trophy First Treasure. I've always liked collecting them in Uncharted games because they tie into the places you visit. Getting 50 of them will get you the Treasure Hunter Trophy, and once you collect all 109, you will get the Treasure Master Trophy. There are also 3 strange relics to find, which are callbacks to other Naughty Dog games, and you can find them all in the exact same way you find the treasures. You will get Relic Finder for nabbing all 3 of them. The collectibles don't stop there though, because you have to find the journal entries and journal notes as well. You will get Jot This Down for finding your first journal entry, and Take a Note for your first journal note. The difference between the two is that the journal entries are sights, or events that Nathan Drake will sketch in his notebook, and the journal notes are pieces of paper found in the environment, like on dead pirates, and Nate will keep them for prosperity. These are also really cool pieces of lore, and what makes collectibles in this game just so good. Nab the trophy Lost Art of Journaling for finding all 25 journal entries, and Lost History for collecting the 23 journal notes. One more type of collectible left, the Conversations. The Gift of Gab trophy is for finding all of the optional conversations, denoted by this speech bubble that pops over people's heads. Many of these happen as you progress through the story, but some of them are hard to find. The sentiment extends to all the collectibles, so again, we turn to Brian English, aka PS Trophies, where he has given us a video of every collectible location in the game. Trust me, use this on one of your playthroughs. The video is linked in the description below. Your third and final playthrough is going to focus on getting 2 nerve-wracking trophies. Charted Speedrun is the first part of the run, where you have to make it to the end of the game in 6 hours. That's 22 chapters in 6 hours. Yeah, it sounds like you're going to have to haul ass through your playthrough. That's still true, but my final time for the run was 5 hours and 29 minutes. That's a 30-minute buffer to make some mistakes, which is a good thing, and by your third playthrough you should know the game pretty well. However, you will need to skip every cutscene. Going to the options menu will pause the clock, so there's no penalty for checking every non-gameplay scene to see if you can skip it. The place you can save a bunch of time is on the puzzles, where you already know the answers and can blaze through those sections. Also, remember that most, if not all, the combat encounters can be skipped by just running to the goal point. You'll be playing on Explorer difficulty, so you can take a ton of shots before going down. And don't forget that if there are some parts like in Chapter 12, where you have to follow a certain path but you already know where to go, just go there and skip the fluff. The second nerve-wracker is the Sharpshooter Trophy, for beating the game with over 70% accuracy. It also sounds like it could be a big problem, but there are the extras mentioned earlier to help you. Equip the Barak pistol and infinite ammo for one-shot kill potential, and quick combat encounters. Also, you will be playing on Explorer difficulty, which automatically turns on lock-on aim, to make sure you practically never miss. Aiming down the sights will snap to the nearest enemy, making you feel like you're using McCree's Deadeye half the time. It's not perfect, so before you fire, make sure you are actually going to hit your target or reset the aiming. All of these things will help you keep accuracy a high number, and you can check to see how you are doing in the options menu. By the end of your third run, you should get both of these trophies following these helpful tips. You should also get the Ludonarrative Dissonance Trophy for getting 1000 kills, and also the Unstoppable Trophy for getting 75 kills in a row without dying. The Unstoppable Trophy in particular is much easier to get on your third run, so long as you don't fall to your death during a jump or somehow take enough shots to take you down. Explorer difficulty is very lenient, so it should make it easy. In particular, I got this trophy during the mission in Chapter 11, where there are a ton of enemies to take out. Next, there are a crap ton of Milestone Trophies in this game. Get some headshots, blind fire some fools, get some stealth takedowns, say ARG enough times. Well, not that last one, but you get the idea. These are just a bunch of trophies you will get naturally as you play through the game. I'm going to pop the easy ones on screen right now so you can pause and keep tabs on the trophy and the description for them. These other Milestone Trophies require some more finesse and explanation. I Thought I Heard Something is one of those trophies that you will have to remember as you play and go out of your way to get it. You have to score 30 vertical stealth takedowns, which requires you to jump from a ledge and land on a foe without being detected. Plenty of opportunities to get these, but a great spot to farm these are in Chapter 8 during the bridge encounter. Load up the scenario from Encounter Select and run it however many times you need to get the trophy. Same thing for Hangman's Bullet, for getting 20 headshots while hanging on a rope. If you haven't got it by your last playthrough, load up the Drawbridge encounter in Chapter 10 and get the rest of the headshots. This feature, Encounter Select, should be a staple in all games going forward. Do you know how many trophy runs would be way easier if it had this feature? Naughty Dog has set the bar for game accessibility. You can get a 2-for-1 in Chapter 20 with the trophies Boom County for getting 4 kills with 1 explosive and Defeat 10 in 60, China Lake GL, for eliminating 10 enemies in 60 seconds with the iconic grenade launcher. Are you piecing the puzzle together? Chapter 20 has a ton of enemies coming at you in the ship graveyard encounter, and by now you should be able to equip the China Lake and infinite ammo. So rain down on your enemies for the trophies. For Boom County, if you're having some trouble taking out 4 enemies at one time, whip out the RPG instead for a more reliable explosive weapon. Using all the weapons in your arsenal is actually important to get the I accidentally all the guns trophy. You need to use all the guns in your gun list at least once, getting 1 kill. And even after that, you might not get the trophy quite yet, and that's because there are a few weapons that are not part of your inventory, like the dynamite you take from the frontline soldiers, the turrets raining hell on you, the conveniently placed explosive barrels, powder kegs, and barbecue propane tanks, and then of course lastly, the miniguns from the armored guards. Then you should get the trophy if you get a kill with all of these. Speaking of the armored guards, you will need to kill 5 of these only using melee, and you'll get the trophy hitting a brick wall for doing so. But you can't just walk up to them and get your 3-hit combo on, you will bounce right off. You are going to need to pop their helmet off with a leaping Superman punch, then he will be wide open for a beating. Once you take out 5 of these armored guards, you will get the trophy. Remember, melee only. These last 3 trophies for this section all have to do with taking down enemies in a certain method. The 2 best places to do these are the aforementioned bridge encounter in Chapter 8 or the drawbridge encounter in Chapter 10. Both are pretty great places to get any of these trophies. Also, don't forget to turn off the lock-on aim before proceeding. The first one is called Leapfrog, and it tasks you with getting 10 kills alternating between gunplay and melee. This is not as tough as it sounds, and you don't even have to do any weapon switching. Start off with a gun kill, then melee rush the next nearest enemy. When you get the successful melee kill, Drake will grab the gun that they are holding, and then proceed to the next gun kill. Keep doing this dance of death until the trophy pops. Next, we got Rushing Roulette, which ups the ante because you have a time limit. You have 15 seconds to take out enemies in this order: 1 pistol kill, then a machine gun kill, and then a grenade kill. It's honestly not that hard if you make sure you have everything equipped on you. A bit more difficult is the next trophy, which asks you to do the same thing but in a different way. Run the Table wants you to get a stealth kill, a melee kill, headshot, and then an explosive kill in that order in 15 seconds. This one takes a few tries to get as it's a bit more demanding on where your enemies are placed in your surroundings, but it's still pretty simple. Pro tip is to use the explosive barrels in the area to help you get that last kill, so keep that in mind. As we head into our next section of trophies, I do want to extend a big spoiler warning, as most of these contain story elements or cool parts that I don't necessarily want to spoil for you if you haven't done your first playthrough yet. It's going to be hard to talk about all of these things being so vague, so instead, if you don't want to be spoiled, skip to the timecode in the description that is titled Online Trophies to proceed to that section of the guide and onward. This is honestly my favorite Uncharted story, and you gotta play through this swashbuckling title unspoiled. So I've done my due diligence, and we are about to start in 3, 2, 1. There are 2 trophies to grab in Chapter 4. The first one, called Still Got It, is when you are up in the attic reminiscing on Nate's many adventures. When you pick up the Nerf gun, you will need to shoot at every hanging red target, including the last one with Lazarevic's ugly mug on it, to get the trophy. The second one in this chapter is when you are on the couch with Elena, and she busts out the good old PlayStation 1 to play some Crash Bandicoot, which, absolutely and horribly shameless plug, I have a Platinum Trophy guide for the insane version of Crash 1 on the channel already. But anyways, you will get the trophy Best Score when you beat Elena's high score in the Crash 1 level boulders. The trick here is that it's impossible to beat her score in this chapter, and you will get another chance to beat it in the very last chapter of the game. The level drops another extra life during the second time you play it, which will give you enough points to beat her high score and get the trophy. Moving on to the trophy Ghost in the Cemetery in Chapter 8, you will need to maneuver through all of these armed guards to the gate at the top of the section without being spotted. I am showing you how to do it on screen now, and that's the path that I recommend taking. Make sure you are attempting this on the lowest difficulty, because I've tried to sprinkle this into my crushing run, and the guards have superhuman senses. You can also load up this part in Encounter Select by clicking Dormitories in Chapter 8, which will set you up and give you a checkpoint to roll back to if you mess it up. Now we are in Chapter 9 at Captain Avery's very first trial, so we can get the trophy Trials and Tribulations. You will have to position the bucket and the 3 crosses in their proper spots in 10 moves or less. I have the solution on screen now, or you can check out the video I left in the description down below.
Check it out. Something up there moved when you put the bucket
Running from the mechanism to the door.
Okay, so bucket on top is good. Keep it there.
Okay, that's gotta be it.
Now, let's find out.
Let's? So you're gonna pull the switch?
Nathan, look. I think you got it.
All right, see? No shishkinates, no Nate kebabs today.
Onward to Madagascar in Chapter 10, where you will have to knock down these standing rock statues called Cairns for the trophy Not a Cairn in the World. There are 15 of these to hit as you drive through your intended path, and I've left another video in the description below for all the locations. Chapter 11 has a ton of these kinds of trophies, starting when you're walking through the marketplace. You will get the trophy Don't Feed the Animals if you do this exact sequence of events. First, you have to interact with these ladies selling apples to obtain an apple for the next part. Then, continue on a little bit until you see a man sitting on the ground with a lemur on his shoulder. Interact with him next. Shortly after you continue forward, the lemur will come and steal the apple, and you will get the trophy to pop. And here I was thinking Drake was the master thief. The next trophy, I Can See My House From Here, can be obtained when you climb all the way up to the bell portion of the bell tower puzzle. Before you ring the bell, find a path of climbable stones that will take you to the very top of the bell tower, and you will get the trophy when you make it to the very top and look out into the amazing scenery. And then once you fumble and crash your way into the puzzle room with the pirate sigils, you can get the trophy Glamour Shot while taking pictures of the sigil with your phone. just pan the camera towards Sully's direction and snap a pic of this gorgeous man right here. Of all the treasures Nate has found, I think Sully is the biggest one, a national treasure. By now, you guys should know that I love trophies that are references to something, and this next one, Stage Fright, is a perfect example. After you exit the bell tower, don't touch the controller until you see the trophy pop. It will pop on its own. Strange trophy, right? Well, this is a reference to the infamous moment at E3 2015, where in a gameplay demo, the presenters couldn't get Nate to move as intended, forcing the devs to restart the demo to get it to work. Nate definitely had some stage fright there, and the clever as hell Naughty Dog devs immortalized that moment here with this trophy. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but the Ludonarrative Dissonance Trophy is also a cheeky nod to the people saying that Nate is a mass murdering psychopath. Naughty Dog definitely has a sense of humor. Now for the last trophy in Chapter 11 called Hang Tough. While you're being dragged from the rope in the big car chase set piece, you will need to destroy 10 cars just by shooting them. Just load up the Chapter 11 Convoy section in Encounter Select, and you will get it once you are done all 10. Now we can set sail to Chapter 12 and grab 2 trophies. The first is called Marco Polo Returns, and while you're cruising to your destination on the boat, you will stumble across an area with a sunken ship on your left side. Go for a swim in this area, and then Nate and Sam will start playing a game of Marco Polo and the trophy will pop. From there, hop back in the boat and head to this area on the right, so you can get the trophy on Porpoise. You will notice some dolphins swimming around, and you can get them to follow you just by cruising around the area. The game is kind of finicky with this, as the dolphins follow you when they feel like it, and you have to cruise the area for a bit. Also, if you leave the area, the dolphins will stop following you, so you just want to be wary of that. When you get 3 of them to follow your boat, you will get the trophy. Now for a really annoying one that spans across a couple of chapters called Peaceful Resolution. This one starts at the beginning of Chapter 13 when you get shipwrecked, and you will need to do all of Chapter 13, 14, and make it to the treasury at the start of Chapter 15 without killing anybody. That's kind of annoying and long. You can be seen, but you have to make sure you don't kill anyone. That includes jumping off a rope or ledge and landing on top of an enemy. Now the description says leave everyone alive, but that doesn't include you, so you can die in the process of doing this. As well, any kills that Sam gets also doesn't count. Honestly, just start Chapter 13 on Explorer difficulty and just run straight through it till you get to the end of the treasury and get the trophy. Then there's the Just Floor It trophy for making it to the car on the other side of the area in the Get in the Car encounter. You could try a Hail Mary blitz to the car, but unlike the Peaceful Resolution trophy, Elena's kills will count as killing enemies. So you're going to want to stealth your way to the car instead, scaling around the cliffside until you make it to the Jeep. Immediately hopping in will get their attention, so book it down the slope and make the turn to drive up the river. If you didn't run anybody over making your escape, you will get the trophy once you are out of danger. And now finally for our last chapter related trophy called Swordmaster. And before we continue, I'm tagging this section with a super spoiler warning, as this will ruin parts of the game's final act. Last chance to skip to the online trophies timecode so you don't have it spoiled. Okay, here we go. In the sword fight with Rafe inside the treasure room, you will need to parry all of his attacks, which involves pressing the triangle button at the right time if he attacks to the left, or circle button if he attacks to the right. This can be tricky as some attacks are not telegraphed as well as others, but there is an easy way to beat this. First, you'll want to play on Explorer difficulty, as it gives you more time to react to each movement. Secondly, if you're having trouble guessing the correct buttons, just slow it down using the slow motion cheat in the extras menu. This will slow everything down to a crawl and give you way more time to press the correct button. You will get the trophy at the end of the fight if you didn't take a hit and parried everything. Our very last step to getting your brand new Plat is to hop into Uncharted 4's multiplayer mode. This mode has been a staple in the mainline games since Uncharted 2. I really didn't like it then, and I still don't care for it now. It's an acquired taste, but at least if you don't end up liking it at all, just know you will only have to spend about 1 or 2 hours in this mode to get the platinum. What bugs me more is that there are 5 trophies to collect that will all eventually make this plat unobtainable one day. But Grandpa Josh Rockstark is going to save that rant for another day. The first thing you'll have to do is finish the multiplayer tutorial to get the trophy, continue the adventure. This will prep you for the next couple of hours you will spend in this multiplayer mode, or maybe you might end up liking it. The next trophy you should go for is Trials by Fire. The trials feel like an extended tutorial with difficulty settings, and for this trophy you will just have to complete the moderate difficulty for all 15 trials. This is where the majority of your time will be spent, but funny enough, this part can only be done single player. After that's done, you're going to want to hop into 10 online matches to get the trophy, get in the game. You don't need a win, you just need to finish the match. While in those matches, you can work on getting the medic trophy by reviving 10 downed players. If you are having some trouble, you can use a class with a revive pack in the kit, which speeds up the reviving process when you use it. The last trophy for this section is Friends Forever, for summoning 10 sidekicks mid-match. These sidekicks are assists that you can summon when you accrue enough money during the match. The best thing you can do is run around the map finding the diamonds to increase your money count. Doing this will summon 1 or maybe 2 sidekicks every match, and your 10th summon will get you the trophy. And that's all you need to do for the multiplayer trophies. It's a short amount of time in this mode, which is a good thing, but it also feels wholly unnecessary. I said I wasn't going to fly off the handle, but this game will be unobtainable one day over these trophies that could have been relegated to an add-on trophy set. But if you do get these trophies and all the rest of the trophies in this guide, congratulations! You will be awarded the One Last Time Platinum Trophy for Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. Go forth and enjoy your plunder, you scallywags! When it comes to add-on trophies in DLC, there is only one trophy set to worry about, and it has to do with the game's survival mode added for free post-launch. It's essentially just Horde mode with an Uncharted flair, and it's kind of a pain and certainly not something that everybody's going to like. There are 12 extra trophies. 1 trophy for each of the 10 stages you have to beat at least once on any difficulty, a trophy called Crushing for beating all the stages on Crushing mode with at least 1 star, and then 1 more trophy called It for beating each stage on Crushing with a full 3 stars. I'm going to leave the guide for this survival DLC in the description below so you can see how it all works. Essentially though, a buddy and I are playing through it, and our game plan is to level up to level 50 so we can increase our health and unlock all of the perks that will keep you alive on the harder difficulties. Then we are going to farm the high level weapons to give us the advantage on Crushing difficulty, which is extremely tough. Once we have the right gear, the last thing we have to do is beat all the stages on Crushing difficulty, beating them fast enough to get 3 stars. You will most likely pour more hours into this mode getting these trophies than the entire Platinum Trophy run with 3 playthroughs. It's pretty grindy, unnecessarily difficult, and to be completely honest, I'm not having that much fun with it. That's not to mention all the microtransactions that you could buy to alleviate a lot of the grind. Not cool, bro. If you don't want to put in the effort, you're going to have to spend some of your booty on the micro looty to make everything way easier. Long story short, I'm not a huge fan of this mode, and you are screwed if you are a list completionist. Overall, I loved this game and enjoyed collecting the Platinum Trophy for once in an Uncharted game. Naughty Dog didn't have to make the experience so streamlined, but they did, and they set a huge bar for other games when it comes to how they handled their Platinum Trophy runs. Guaranteed, you will hear me mentioning Uncharted 4 as a benchmark in later guides, I'm sure of it. I highly recommend playing this game and obtaining the One Last Time Platinum Trophy, even with those 5 dumb online trophies that could have been included in its own trophy set. I also recommend this Uncharted game for any first-timers that want to get into the series. I haven't played Lost Legacy yet, so I could be missing something, but right now, I can definitively say this is the best in the series to start off on. Come on, it's got pirates! However, I don't recommend playing the survival DLC, or at least if you don't care about getting the trophies, just cruise through a couple rounds and call it a day. This mode is not that great in my humble opinion, and it has a bunch of microtransactions that will entice you to skip the grinding. Tackle it only if you have a dedicated squad of 3 and everything might go by faster. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this game renewed my passion for Naughty Dog's games, and I am excited to play Lost Legacy and give The Last of Us 1 a second try, especially since it's on the list for the PlayStation Plus Collection Challenge.